we getting ready for basketball season. We got Sayre Spartans head coach, Coach Robert Goodman, and assistant AD. Coach, man, before we get started, how's it going?
Going great. We're practice has started. It's fun.
Okay.
It's a good time of year. Got football in full swing. There's a lot of sports going on. It's a busy time, but it's awesome.
Now, you know, you guys, first of all, you're a small school in the packed 11th region. Just kind of previewing, looking at how things are going this season. It's going to be a fun ride, Coach.
Well, I mean, it's the 11th region, so it's always packed. It doesn't matter, you know. There's so much talent, so many great coaches, so many great teams. You know, we just hope to be somewhere in the mix and have some fun and see what happens.
Just kind of tell us, just what's your mindset, you know, being, I guess, a smaller school, going into this 11th region, playing some of these giants. How do you take that going into the season?
Well, truthfully, we don't make any excuses for it. We don't even talk about it. I mean, it's 5 guys on the floor. We go out and try to compete. You know, that's what it is. We can't do anything about the hand we're dealt. We just got to play. And you know, we feel like we've got the players. I told the guys when I first got to Sayre many years ago. I said, you're not going to be treated any differently than when I was at Dunbar, Henry Clay, Morehead State, Transit. You're going to be coached the exact same way. You know, it's all the same.
Now, last year's team, you had a pretty good season. You lost in the district playoffs. Mm-hmm. You lost 4 seniors, but you're returning, I think, a pretty good core. Just kind of tell us your thoughts on this upcoming season for the Sayre Spartans, Coach.
Well, this is one of the more athletic teams I've ever had. We've got size, we've got depth. You know, we will of course miss the seniors from last year. They provided so much knowledge, and but this year's group it has an opportunity to do something special.
Who are some players we need to be looking out for, and who are some of the players you're going to be counting on to help lead this team?
Well, obviously, you know, Ian Reeser returns as an all-region player, and Brock Kaufman, who I mentioned is probably one of the most underrated guards in the whole region. You know, we've got Noah Gallagher and Jackson Howard, but one of our shooters is John Palumbo. We're going to rely on him to be stepping up and helping us this year. And then, you know, Luke Pennington's our point guard, and Chase Parker, and Caden Jones. These guys are all great. And, you know, Camonte Braxton is another one. So we've got several players that are, you know, we're deep this year. Mm-hmm. We're deep. I don't think I mentioned Jackson Howard. If I haven't, you know, he's another one that's going to step up and help us. So we've got a lot of depth this year. And again, we can go many different ways with our lineup. So we're also we will miss Savion, of course, this year, but we're looking forward to big things out of him in the future. We are so deep at the guard spot right now. You know, we go about 8 or 9 deep right there, and at any given time, I can put in several different players and not miss a beat. So Brock Kaufman is I think one of the most underrated guards in the region. I think he's one of the top guards out there. But you know, we have other guards that can step up and perform and help us throughout the year as well.
Now, you know, the football, one thing we talked about many times before with the 1A programs, you share a lot of athletes. You know, shout out to Coach Pennington and the Sayre Spartans, undefeated going into the playoffs. I've been picking them too. Just want everybody to know, hey, I'm riding with the Spartans, Coach. How is that going to affect you as you get ready for the season?
Well, this is you know, all this is very new, football, of course, and it's been super. It's been great. Coach Pennington is tremendous. Does a great job. You know, I hope they win the state. It would be great. We are prepared to do what we can do first part of the season, and I don't think we'll really see our true team until, you know, early to mid-January. I think is when our team will finally have a chance to pull it together and be what we think we're going to be. I think we'll have moments before that, but you know, the state football tournament goes till December 2nd, and then got to give those guys a little break, and then they'll be rusty getting back. So you know, our schedule is not light. It's not easy. So you know, we'll continue to play some top teams around and see what happens. We're going down to Florida over the Christmas time, and we I think the tournament has like 4 6A teams in it. You know, some big schools, and you know we're gonna see where we are.
All right, Coach. Now, what are we going to expect, from the sounds of it and the looks of it, like you say, you have Ian coming back, you got Brock Kaufman coming back, those were your top 2 scorers last season. It's going to be a lot of running, gunning, Coach.
Oh, yeah. No, we like to get up and down. I mean, that's our style. We want to press. We want to get the ball out quick, and we want to get shots quick. And, we got the size to go get that offensive rebound. I think it'll be very similar to what you see from other teams in our district and in our region. We're a good shooting team. We got a lot of speed, so we plan on utilizing that to the best of our ability this year. We have a new player in this year, Noah Gallagher from Scott County, and he's a heck of a player. He's going to help us a lot. His experience, his size, his strength. We're very excited about the prospects right now.
Now, Coach, being a Cats fan, are you kind of looking at maybe the platoon system, Coach? Is that an option?
I don't think so. We certainly could, but I'm not a huge fan of that. But I think several guys need to step up and be ready when their number's called. And again, as I mentioned, we want everybody to have a chance to have fun and eat, and but they've got to sacrifice for each other. They've got to be ready to step in and play for each other and play for this team. If they do that, I think we've got a great shot at having a fun season.
Now, this is something, just as a coach, when you got a lot of talent like this, how do you balance that? And that's something I know, as we being Cats fans, we see Coach Cal has all these, recruits, and he has to play all these talented players. How do you judge and how do you balance that as you're playing? Is it just you go with the hot hand, or is it
That's tough.
do you have minutes kind of regular? Do you
you
kind of go in like, okay, I'm gonna pay him first 5 and the first 5, and then maybe who's better out of that 5? How do you do that?
Well, we watch performance in practice. We watch performance in games. Kids who can step up and make something happen in a game. Maybe the previous game. We got to consider giving them more minutes, or maybe even moving them into a starting lineup if they, if they've earned that. So it's never an easy decision. Everybody wants to be a starter, but we as coaches we try to assure them that we want everybody to get moments that we can, all those moments are important during the course of the game, whether you're starting or not starting. So it's never easy, but again, it takes a lot of buy-in.
Okay, all right. Now, I know one thing, and we always talk about it, football coaches always talk about it, competition is always good.
Yes.
So if they're pushing each other for playing time, that's going to bring the best out of the next player in front of them. So it's always a good thing.
Yep, I agree
Coach,
with it.
I think I might have to give me a Sayre shirt, Coach.
Absolutely, honey. You need
Dark
to get
horse
down
for the
there.
11th, baby. Sayre, dark horse for the 11th.
I got one for you. No, we're just excited about the season. Again, we've got some. We got a lot. Like I mentioned, it's the 11th region. A lot of tough games, but we're looking forward to doing what we can and hoping for a good year and hoping nobody gets hurt. But just having some exciting basketball games. That's for sure.
Now, do you kind of have I don't know, because Sayre, you don't really have a rival. I guess would it be like maybe LCA, maybe?
We talk about that all the time. We need a rival. We do need a rival, and my argument's always been you got to beat them to make them a rival. So growing up when I was in school, we claimed Lexington Catholic was our rival, but we didn't beat them, so it was hard to make them our rival. You've got to, and we're building to that. We are building to that. We are starting to beat teams. We don't really have a rival. Maybe Kentucky Country Day in Louisville is something that Bethlehem's starting to turn into a rivalry for us. But it would be nice to have one in town. But it's hard to drive a wedge between LCA and Catholic and get into that rivalry. They've got a pretty good one going, and everybody else has pretty much seemed to have their rivalries. So but we can't do anything about that. We just got to go out and do what we can do for ourselves, and hopefully maybe start irritating enough people where we become a rivalry, right? That's the goal.
All right, Coach. Now, just this one thing I want to ask you: what's it going to take for you guys to make this run this season and compete in this 11th region?
Well, we talk about the kids all the time. I'm sure it's the same with every team. We want all of our players to have fun. We want them all to know they can all score at any time. Every player on our program should eat, but they've also got to sacrifice for each other. They got to become a unit. They got to become a team. They got to not worry about who's getting shots, who's doing what. If we can do that, we've got so many guys out there, I think, that can put the ball in the bucket and help us out. If we learn to play together, we're going to be pretty tough.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll be looking out for you guys and keeping up with you, Coach. Good luck and keep doing big things.